Week 5, EDM 60204, Measurement and Geometry. In this lecture, we are going to look at measurement, specifically length, mass, and time. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to explain the teaching and learning of measurement, discuss the standard units found worldwide, discuss the misunderstanding children have about mass, weight, and time. So the misunderstanding here actually refers to the misconceptions. Now, when children they start to learn to measure and they start to learn to estimate, when they were very young and before they came to you in your classroom, when they see their, let's say, elder brother and they compare it with themselves, then they can see that the elder brother is taller, okay, and he is shorter. So these are words that children use when they learn measurement indirectly or informally. And then if you have a ruler, okay, this long, let's say this is a 1 meter ruler, and then you have the smaller one, which is 12 inches, okay, 12 inches. So the children will be using longer. This ruler is longer than this one, and this ruler is shorter than that one. Okay. Now, they would also look at, let's see, this is a box, okay, and this is another box, but this box is smaller. All right, so when they see this in their mind, because if someone asks which one is heavier, or are they the same, then the child will say this one is heavier and this one is lighter. So before the students actually come to your class, they already have this prior knowledge. Okay, it's either prior knowledge or previous knowledge. Okay, so it's prior or previous knowledge. So they already have this, right? So they will be using other terms, other words to describe measurement. Wider, okay, let's see, narrower, right? What else do they use apart from the ones that we have discussed? They would say that one is more and one is less. So all these words are estimation words where they just look at something and they estimate that one is heavier, this one is heavier than this one is shorter than this one is taller than this one. So that is actually estimation. Okay, when the kids measure, they use estimation before they go to school. Okay, now you know from the previous lecture why we have standard measurement. Okay, or standard, why we have standard measurement. One of the reason is this, that means that it is due to inconsistencies when using non-standard units. Okay, therefore we need standard units. Now, non-standard unit is where you could use paper clips. Okay, my drawing is not so nice, but you can use paper clips. You can use eraser. Okay, your eraser. Let's say this is your eraser, part colored and part not colored. Or you can use your pencil. Okay, or you can use your hand. Okay, you can also use pebbles. Okay, you can also use pebbles. So these are non-standard units. They are non-standard units. Non-standard units means that they could be of any size. They could be anything. It could be your feet as well. Okay, I'm not good at drawing feet. Okay. Okay, so there are two types of standard units used all over the world. Now here are units in both metric and imperial. Uh, meters, feet, kilograms, pounds. Okay, so for kilograms, we have kilograms, the symbol of kilograms, and we have grams. Okay, for meter, we have meter or kilometer. Okay, we only have two, meter or kilometer when it comes to distance or length. And then we have seconds. So feet, you have feet, FT, and then you have inches. Okay, for pounds, this is the symbol LB, and then there's ounce. 12 ounces is 1 pound. Now, the only similarity in the units for both empirical and metric will be seconds. There's no dispute about the this unit because we have the same hour, and then we have minute, and we have seconds. Okay. Now, for degree for temperature metric, we use Celsius, and empirical we will use Fahrenheit. Now, from the previous lecture, you know that US, the United States of America, is still using imperial units. Okay, the rest of the world, there are three countries, including US. They are still using imperial units, but for the rest of the world, we are using metric system. Okay, right. This is the table of conversion, and you can see here there are three types. One is weight, one is liquid measures, the other one is length. Okay, now let's go to weight, metric, and imperial. So 15 grams is actually 1.5 ounce. Okay, so in a recipe from the US, they will be talking about ounce and pounds. Okay, so you need to convert ounce to grams so that you can get the correct measurement. Okay, now whereas for liquid, it's called the quantity in metric and metric, sorry, quantity and metric. 1 teaspoon, they use teaspoon, is actually 5 ml. And then 1 cup is actually 250 milliliters because we're talking about liquid and not talking about solid like flour that you use to bake cakes or cookies. Now let's go to length. Metric and imperial. 5 millimeters is actually a quarter of an inch. 10 centimeters is actually 4 inches. Okay, 30 cm is actually 12 inches, which is equivalent to 1 feet. Okay, oven temperature. This is also important because if you're cooking something, you will need to know the difference between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So here, if you're cooking at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, that means you're cooking at 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, but nowadays it's even easier if you have either a smartphone such as iPhone or an iPad, or for Samsung, I think it's called Bixby. Then you can just ask your assistant, Siri or Bixby, to convert the temperature, to convert a liquid for you. Okay, but for your students, you need to show them how to do it, how to calculate, so that they can see the process. Remember, we talk about process, not the answer or the product. Okay, what's important is the process. So how many degrees Celsius is equal to 1 Fahrenheit, for example? Okay, and then if you have 32, let's say, or 100 degrees Celsius, what is that in Fahrenheit? So you have to show the process to get to the product. Okay, so there's a short clip where I'm showing the okay, there is a short clip showing that in one measuring jug, okay, you do have both metric and imperial. Okay, so let's watch the video. Okay, so this is the measuring cup, measuring jug actually, where it uses battery, and you can see that it has cups over here. Okay, some of the measurement is gone. Okay, and on the other side, this side, it also has measurement in milliliter and also ounce. Okay, right, but the smallest is like 50 milliliters. Right, so since it is battery operated, you can see here that it has oil. Okay, sorry, it has oil. You can measure flour, you can measure milk, and you can measure water as well. Okay, so let's try to measure some water. And this is the on button. Okay, so here it shows 0 grams for milk. Okay, and we need to just press mode, and you see that it changes to milliliter for oil, milliliter for water. Okay, let's try to measure water in milliliter. So I have here a cup of water. So let's say we just want 5 milliliter. So let's just try this. Okay, so that's 2 milliliter. That's how much 2 milliliters is. And that's 5 milliliter. Okay, so by using this measuring jug and using this, okay, you can actually measure 5 milliliter of water. Okay, so it could be water, it could be oil, it could be milk as well. Okay, so you can see how much 5 milliliter is. That much. It's really convenient to have this jug around the house because it has both imperial units as well as the metric units, milliliters. Okay, for measuring solids such as flour, it has the both imperial as well as the metric. Okay, so this is grams, and if you change the unit, okay, it could be, there you go, pound and ounce, that's imperial, and flour. Okay, so there you go. For flour, it can change to cup. So if the recipe requires for you to measure in cups, you can measure in cups using these, okay, or measuring jug. You can also use this, which is by the side, but if you need a certain amount that is not here, then you can always go to this.